Hello, everybody. So in this video, I'm gonna explain what are the three economic questions which anyone who has a business has to answer these questions, these fundamental economic questions. So let's discuss what are the most three important questions which you have to answer if you have your own business. So let's start with the first one. So what the first question is, what goods and service will be produced? The second one is how will the goods be produced? And the last one, who will get the output? So the three questions are what, how, and who. What goods and services will be produced? How will the goods be produced? And who will get the goods or who will get the output? Okay, let's discuss each question in detail. So let's start with the first question, which is what? Which means if you have your own business, if you want to, let's say you finish your school and you want to start your own business, so think about this. So you're thinking about what goods I'm going to produce or what service I'm going to offer to customers. So the answer for this question is this statement in red, which is what? Which is dollar votes, or you can say, as we usually say, money talks. So what does it mean? What does it mean? So as usual, I'm gonna start with the question, and after solving the question, after answering the question, I'm gonna explain what do you mean by question number one, which is what products will be produced. Okay, let's start. Let's see question number one. Question number one says what? So it says that with current technology, suppose a firm is producing 400 loaves of banana bread daily. Also assume that the least cost combination of resources in producing those loaves is 5 units of labor, 7 units of land. So let's write down here. Okay, so 5, let's write down. So, okay, so 5 L, so this is 5 units of labor, 7 units of land, okay, so, and 5 labor. Okay, and 2 units of capital, so 2 units of capital, and 1 of entrepreneur ability, so 1 unit of, I don't have space, so let's just write down 1 unit of entrepreneur ability. Okay, so these are the resources which I have: 5 units of labor, 7 units of land, 2 units of capital, and 1 unit of ability. Selling at the price of 40, 60, 60, 20 respectively. What does it mean? So this means like what unit is 40. So for instance, let's say if you want to hire 1 employee, so you have to pay this employee or this worker like $40 an hour. Okay, so so this means if you have 5 workers or 5 employees, with each one is gonna take 40, so you have to pay 40 times 50. This equals 200. And the price of 1 unit of land is 60, and you have 7 units of land, so multiply 7 by 60. Okay, so this gives you 420. And 60, this is the price of 1 unit of capital. So if you multiply 60 by 2, so this gives you 120. And then the price of 1 ability. So what do you mean by entrepreneurial ability? Which means, let's say you want to hire someone who is expert in this field. So he's like a consultant. So you have to pay this consultant or this expert like $20 per hour, let's say. Okay, so this means 20 times 1. So this will give you 20. Okay, so this means if we let's add up all these numbers. So 200 plus 420 equals 620, plus 120 equals 740, plus 20 equals 760. This is how did we get this number. So TC stands for total cost. So the total cost which you have to pay to start your business or produce your products is 760. Okay, and let's continue. So if the firm can sell those 400 loaves at $2, so okay, what this stands for? This stands for total revenue. Total revenue is always what? Equals price or unit price times the Q. Q, which is the quantity sold. So how do you find total revenue for any business? Multiply the unit price, the price for 1 unit, produced or 1 unit sold multiplied by all the quantity produced. So if you are gonna sell if you are gonna sell the banana bread for $2, so this is the unit price, $2, and how many banana loaves you will sell? 400. So if you multiply 2 by 400, this is how you got the 800. Okay, profit. This is a simple accounting equation. How do we find profit? Simply total revenue minus the cost. So whatever you get from selling the product, and then minus whatever you pay as as expenses or cost to produce this product. So your total cost here is 760. Total revenue, not profit. So be careful about the distinction between total revenue and profit. So total revenue is 800. So profit, which revenue adjusted for cost. So profit again is revenue minus cost, equals 800 minus 760. So the profit equals, this is the net profit. Okay, so let's continue the question. So what's the question? So how much is the total revenue? We already answered the question. How much is the total cost? We said that 760. Is there profit or loss? We said there's a profit. This is the key question which I want to answer, which is what? Will it continue to produce banana bread? This is the key question. Okay, so let's see this. So this is the key question. Will it continue to produce banana bread or not? Okay, so don't forget the main question which I'm trying to answer using this example. The main question I'm trying to answer here in this example is this one, which is what goods and services will be produced. So don't forget this question. So this, and I said the answer for this question is dollar votes over money talks. So to make it simple, simply is you will keep producing a good as long as it's profitable. That's it. That's the simple answer for this question. So getting back to example number 1, since here I'm ending up with a profit, which means my revenue is exceeding my cost, which means I'm making a profit. I'm making money from this product. So this means, yes, I will keep continuing to produce banana bread. So the answer for the question, what products or goods and services will be produced, I will produce any goods or service as long as I'm making money, as long as I'm making profit from producing or selling these products. Okay, so this is question number 1. Now let's see question number 2. The question number 2, as you can see here, how will the goods and service be produced? So let's see the next page. Actually, we are still in the. I'm sorry. So we are still in the first question. So let me give you another question, another example about what goods and services will be produced, and maybe you will like this question more than the first one. Here I'm giving an example about something called Mac Miss and Mac Hits. Explain what I mean by Mac Miss and Mac Hits. So of course, all of you know McDonald's, and maybe most of you like ate burgers in McDonald's. So by Mac Miss and Mac Hits, McDonald's have been in the market for many years, right? And they keep changing the menu once in a while. So I'm gonna tell you here. I'm gonna tell you a number of sandwiches, which. So if you are familiar with this sandwich, so this means this sandwich have been still in the market. Still, like whenever if you go to McDonald's right now, you will see this sandwich in the menu. But if I tell you if I tell you the name of a sandwich, and maybe you're not familiar with this type of sandwich, so this means this sandwich was in the menu a long time ago, but probably there wasn't like a good demand on this sandwich. People didn't like it, so that's why the management of McDonald's dropped this sandwich from the menu. So if McDonald's like they sell like a new sandwich and the people like it, so we call it Mac Hits. But if McDonald's sell a sandwiches and maybe people didn't like it, so that's why they didn't sell. They didn't have like good sales for this sandwich. So we call it Mac Miss. Okay, so now you know the difference between Mac Miss and Mac Hit. So let's try. So the first one is Hola Burger. So this was started in 1962. Okay, I'm sure that maybe all of you like never heard about this type of sandwiches. as long as we don't hear about it. So this means it's McMiss. It was started in 1962, but it's no longer in the menu now. Okay, the second one is a fillet of fish. Okay, so this is the fish fillet, so it's still in the menu. So that's why it's called a Mac hit. As you can see the answer here. So these are the answer for the question. Strawberry shortcake. This was started in 1966. I bet you that you not see this shortcake in the menu nowadays. So this is Mac Miss. Big Mac, definitely all of you know the Big Mac. So Big Mac is a Mac hit. Hot apple pie, which started in 1968, Mac hit. Egg McMuffin, this was started in 1975, Mac hit. You still see the Egg McMuffin in the breakfast menu of McDonald's. Drive-through started in 1975. Of course, you can use the drive-through to get your order. So as you can see, it's Mac hit. Chicken nuggets still in the menu. So Mac hits. Extra value meal in 1991. As you can see, it's Mac hit. McLean Deluxe. This started in 1991. This is Mac Miss. We don't see this sandwich in the menu anymore, and so on. As you can see, like Mac Salad Shaker. It's Mac Miss. Mac Griddle. This is Mac Hit, and the last one is Snack Wrap, which is started in 06. This is Mac Hit. Okay, so this is another example of what goods I'm going to produce. So how can we relate this example to the question which I'm trying to answer? For instance, why, so as you can see, let's, for example, take Big Mac as an example. McDonald's started to sell Big Mac since when? Since 1968. And until now, they keep selling Big Mac. Why? Because people like it. There's a good demand on this Big Mac sandwiches. That's why McDonald's keeps selling this one. On the other hand, why, for instance, you don't see a sandwich called Hula Burger nowadays? Okay, because people don't like it, and if people don't like it, this means McDonald's is not making profit from selling this type of sandwich. So simply they dropped this sandwich from the menu. Simple. Okay. Okay, let's move next. Now let's move to the next question, next economic question we have, which is how would they be produced? Like, if I have my own business, what are the tools I'm gonna use to produce these goods? The answer for this question is simple: least cost production. Okay, as usual, I'm gonna use an example to explain the answer for this question. Now let's focus on the resources you have. We said, what are the resources which usually anyone has to have to make any business? Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship ability. Okay, let's look at this table. So here the price for every unit. So these are the unit prices. So one piece of land, for example, so is $2. 1 unit of labor is 4. 1 unit of capital is 3, and so on. Now let's let's say that you have 3 different techniques. Technique number 1, technique number 2, and technique number 3. Different techniques, different technologies. Okay, so the simple, here I'm asking like many questions, like feel free to read the questions, and here I'm answering these questions. But my key point in this page, just to make it easy for you, is just let's find out the total cost under each technique. I didn't start any technique yet. I'm just trying to choose what is the least cost technique. So let's find out the cost for each technique. Okay, so let's find out the cost here. Technology number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, let's do it quickly. So 2 units, and the price for 1 unit equals 2. So this is 4 plus 3 times 4 equals 12. 1 times 3 equals 3. 1 times 5 equals 5. So let's add up this number. 4 plus 12 is 16. 16 plus 3 equals 19. 19 plus 25 equals 24. Okay, so this is the total cost for using technique number 1. Let's do the same thing for technique number 2. 2 times 2. Okay, so 2 times 2. Let's give you 4. Let's see the different color. Okay, so this is 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. 2 times 3 equals 6. 1 times 5 equals 5. So let's add up this number. 4 plus 8 equals 12. 12 plus 6 equals 18. 18 plus 5 equals 23. This is the total cost for the second technique. Okay, now let's see the last technique. 3 times 2, this gives you 6. 1 times 4, this gives you 4. 3 times 3, 9. 1 times 5 is 5. Let's add 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 9, 19, plus 5 equals 24. Okay, so now, and let's say that all these three techniques, you can use any one of these three techniques. So which one you will choose? So from my perspective as a business owner, definitely I will go with the second technique, which is technique number 2. Why? Because technique number 2 had the lowest cost. So this brings me back to the second question again. So how will the goods be produced? The answer is simple. I'm going to produce the goods with using the technique with the lowest cost of production, or with the lowest production cost. So this is the answer for this question. Okay, now for the last question is, for whom will they be produced? The answer question is simply like here asking about the customers. Like you have to target the customer which you are planning to sell your products to the. So you are supposed to target which type of customers, which category of customers you are planning to sell your products. Okay, so let me go back to the first page. So just to summarize everything I said here. So the three fundamental questions: what goods will be produced? Dollar votes or money talks. The second question is, how will the goods be produced using the lowest cost? The last question is, who will get the output? So I said you have to target what are the customers you are supposed to sell this for. So these are the three questions. These are the three economic questions which any business owner has to answer. Thank you, and see you in the next video.